There is a strange kind of power in this world, a power that cannot be seen, a power that cannot be touched. Yet it has the ability to change relationships, win battles, protect your peace, and transform your life. It is not money. It is not intelligence. It is not physical strength. It is silence. In today's world, everyone wants to be heard. Everyone wants the last word. Everyone wants to prove they are right. Social media has taught us to react instantly. Arguments spread faster than understanding. Opinions are shared before facts are even known. And somewhere in all this noise, people have forgotten the greatest skill of all, the ability to remain silent. Many people think silence is weakness. They believe that if someone doesn't respond, they have lost. If someone walks away from an argument, they are afraid. If someone chooses peace over conflict, they must be powerless. But nothing could be further from the truth. Because true strength isn't found in speaking louder than everyone else. True strength is found in controlling yourself, even when every emotion inside you is screaming to react. Think about the ocean. When a storm arrives, the surface becomes violent. Huge waves crash into one another. The water becomes dark and restless. But deep beneath the surface, the ocean remains calm. No matter how powerful the storm becomes, the depths stay silent. The strongest people are exactly like that. Their minds may face storms, people may criticize them, life may test them. But deep inside, they remain calm because they understand one simple truth. Not every battle deserves your energy. Imagine meeting two different people. The first person speaks constantly. They interrupt everyone. They always need to prove they're smarter. Every conversation becomes a competition. Now imagine the second person. They speak only when necessary. They listen carefully. They observe more than they react. When they finally say something, everyone pays attention. Who do you naturally respect more? The answer is obvious. Because words become valuable only when they are rare. Silence gives weight to your voice. If you speak every minute, people eventually stop listening. But if you speak with purpose, every sentence carries power. One day, a young man visited an old monk. His face was filled with frustration. "Master," he said, "people insult me. They criticize me. No matter what I do, someone always has something negative to say. Tell me, how do I silence them?" The old monk smiled. He didn't answer. Instead, he stood up and began walking. The young man followed him through a quiet forest. After several minutes, they arrived at a peaceful lake. The monk sat down beside the water. Still, he said nothing. 5 minutes passed, then 10. The young man became impatient. Finally, he asked, "Master, why won't you answer me?" The monk gently pointed toward the lake. "What do you see?" "I see my reflection." "And what would happen if I threw a large stone into the water? The reflection would disappear." The monk nodded. "Exactly. Your mind is just like this lake. Every insult, every argument, every unnecessary reaction is another stone. The more stones you allow into your mind, the harder it becomes to see yourself clearly." The young man sat silently. For the first time, he realized that peace isn't created by changing other people. Peace is created by refusing to let them disturb your mind. That is the first lesson of silence. Silence is not about avoiding people. It is about protecting your peace. Most people spend their entire lives trying to control others. They want others to understand them, agree with them, respect them, apologize to them. But here's the truth. You cannot control another person's thoughts. You cannot control their words. You cannot control their opinions. The only thing you truly control is your response. And sometimes the strongest response is no response at all. Have you ever noticed something? When someone desperately wants your attention, your silence often affects them more than your anger ever could. Because silence creates uncertainty, it forces people to reflect. It removes the fuel that keeps conflict alive. Arguments need two people. If one person refuses to fight, the argument slowly dies. This doesn't mean you become weak, it means you become wise. There is an old saying, "A lion does not turn around every time a dog barks." Think about that. The lion isn't silent because it is afraid. The lion is silent because it knows its strength. It has nothing to prove. The same is true for confident people. Confidence is quiet. Insecurity is loud. The louder someone tries to prove themselves, the more they reveal the doubts they carry inside. But the person who truly knows their worth feels no need to convince anyone. They simply continue walking toward their purpose. Silence is also one of the greatest forms of emotional intelligence. When you're angry, silence gives your emotions time to cool. When you're hurt, silence prevents words you'll later regret. When you're confused, silence allows clarity to appear. Many of life's biggest mistakes happen in moments of emotional reaction. A single sentence spoken in anger can destroy a friendship built over 20 years. A careless comment can break a family. A harsh reply can end a relationship forever. But one moment of silence can save all of it. So before speaking, ask yourself 3 simple questions. Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? If the answer is no, silence may be the wiser choice. But does silence always mean saying nothing? Should we stay quiet even when people disrespect us? Should we remain silent in the face of injustice? Or is there a difference between wise silence and fearful silence? So, what is the difference between wise silence and fearful silence? At first glance, they look exactly the same. In both cases, a person is nothing, but inside, they are completely different worlds. Fearful silence is born from insecurity. It whispers, "Don't speak, because people might reject you. Don't express yourself, because someone may laugh at you. Stay quiet, because you're afraid of losing." But wise silence comes from confidence. It says, "I don't need to answer every accusation. I don't need to prove my value to everyone. I know who I am, and that is enough." That is the silence of strength, not the silence of fear. Unfortunately, most people spend their entire lives trying to explain themselves. They explain their choices, their dreams, their relationships, their failures, their successes, as if everyone else's opinion has become a courtroom and they are constantly on trial. But here's something you'll eventually learn. The moment you stop explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you, your life becomes lighter. Much lighter. Because not everyone deserves an explanation. Some people don't want the truth. They only want a reaction. And when you refuse to give them one, you take away their power. Think about fire. Fire survives only when someone keeps feeding it. Arguments work exactly the same way. Every angry reply, every emotional message, every unnecessary explanation is another piece of wood thrown into the flames. Now imagine doing something unexpected. Imagine choosing silence instead. At first, the fire burns fiercely. It demands your attention. It wants you to react. But if you continue refusing to feed it, slowly, the flames begin to fade. The fire dies on its own. That is the hidden power of silence. It doesn't always defeat the storm immediately. Sometimes, it simply refuses to become part of it. There is an old story about a king. The king owned a priceless diamond. One day, he invited the greatest jewelers in the kingdom to examine it. Every expert admired its beauty, until one man stepped forward. He claimed the diamond was fake. The entire royal court became silent. Everyone looked at the king. Would he become angry? Would he punish the man? Would he defend himself? The king simply smiled. He thanked the man for his opinion and walked away. Later, one of his advisors asked, "Your Majesty, why didn't you defend yourself? Everyone knows the diamond is real." The king replied,